As we take a look at the tail of the tape for this lightweight bout scheduled for 3, notorious Nick Newell, 29 years of age, 5'10", 155 at a 74-inch reach. His opponent, Tom Marcellino, 31 years of age. He's 5'9", 155 pounds and a 69-inch reach. Again, this one's scheduled for 3 rounds in the lightweight division.
Touch gloves, guys. All right, back in the corners. Gentlemen.
Emily Miller gets us started here in the Grand Theater, Foxwoods Resort Casino. Dan Mergliata, the man at the center, controlling the action.
You ready, sir? Let's go fight.
Todd, I can't believe the crowd's reception to Nick Newell. It was absolute pandemonium as they were saying his name. I could hardly hear us.
He is a crafty fighter. Nick Newell in the yellow trunks, Tommy Marcellino in the black and gray. Straight up, how do you prepare for a fighter like Nick Newell and what he can bring with the absence of that left forearm?
You know, I talked to Nick about that. He was a college wrestler, he's a high school star, and I said to him, hey, what's this like? And he said, Chael, offensively, I've had to change a little bit, but he said defensively, so many people will reach for that arm, and when it's not there, it causes them more problems than it's ever caused me.
Nick Newell with an impressive professional record, 12-1. His one loss coming from the defeat at the hands of the champion, Justin Gaethje, and immediately they connect in the corner. Marcellino comes out firing. Newell working that right hand and punishing Tom Marcellino. Now he's got him up against the corner.
Great hooks. He had anger in those punches, Todd.
Nice position. Good. Take your time. Take your time.
Marcellino up against the cage here. He's looking to push on Newell's face. Couldn't quite get his hand through there.
Sure work, guys.
Over-under position. Newell coming over the top.
Newell's got a single.
He's very strong here. He's very strong in this position, but he's got to get his hips in and his head up. Right now his butt's out. He's not going to be able to secure this. He's fighting himself in a half guillotine here. Marcellino's not going to finish this position, but until Newell can get his head higher than his opponent's, he's not going to be able to do any damage.
Don't just lay on him.
All right, with this half guillotine, what's the best defensive move if you're Nick Newell? How do you get out of that?
Well, if you're Newell and he was to lock his hands, Marcellino, then he could come in there, start hand fighting, start going to the problem and peeling that down. As of right now, this is a battle of whoever can get their head higher fastest is going to win. As long as Nick Newell's head is down, he's not going to be able to do any damage to Marcellino. Marcellino on this guillotine with Newell in side control is not going to be able to do any damage. He's got to get at least one leg, if not both, wrapped around the body.
Dan Mergliata on the scene, making sure that Newell's not getting choked out.
Yeah, I think he was worried he might have been out, but no, he's not. Nick Newell is fine here.
And is it the angle that Newell has right now, cross-body with Marcellino, that's allowing him to breathe and this guillotine not being effective?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Unless Marcellino can get a leg or both around the body of Nick Newell, Nick's not going to have any problems here. As soon as Nick starts to have any kind of trouble, he will just begin to hand fight. Until he's hand fighting, it's a good sign that a fighter's not in jeopardy. And now Newell's in a spot to deliver some pretty good ground and pound. Marcellino's got a scramble.
Oh boy, here we go. And look how fast he's turned the tables. Nick Newell's got the guillotine in deep.
Now Marcellino is trapped here, but he's doing what we call hand fighting. He's grabbing the hand that's given his problem. He's pulling down on it to make sure that he can breathe. And now he's given up hand fighting. That's usually a sign that a fighter's in trouble, and Nick Newell transitions. He's now in a full mount. Okay, now he's going to look for an armbar, Todd. He's got the arm secured. The question is, can he stretch it out? Marcellino needs to step both legs over the head and come to the other side of Nick Newell's body. He's got one leg over. He needs to now bring the right leg over, and he'll be out of danger here.
Newell controlling the head of Tom Marcellino, who's on top in that north-south position right now, trying to step around both men now. This becomes a full-on Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu chess match. Who's going to move and how are they going to respond?
Marcellino's halfway out of trouble here, but he's not taking. I think he's confused by the position because he's not taking himself all the way to where he needs to be. Good shot there by Marcellino.
Tom Marcellino coming up with 30 seconds left in round number 1, taking full advantage of this opportunity to rain down some of those sharp elbows and punches to the back and midsection of Nick Newell.
That's it, you're doing great, Tommy, you're doing great. Nice balance, good balance.
Nick Newell to his feet. Notice how his butt is back. He's got his hips out. If he wants to be able to wrestle well here, he's got to bring those hips in. In this case, he might have to take a knee, but he's got to bring his hips in.
Final 10 seconds. And we will go to a second round of the lightweight division. Nick Newell and Tom Marcellino when we return.
Give me a little more angle on the downward elbow. It's almost downward, all right?
I want the jab switch elbow, but I want you to go to the outside, okay? Because it's there all day long.
He's going to sit heavy on his right hand to throw the overhand. He's waiting for it.
You look great on the takedown. When you go for it, sometimes just step back and throw the hands off the takedown, okay? You're looking great out there. So the jab, switch the elbow to the outside.
Was off. My ground and pound was a little off.
No, it's fine. You're looking wonderful, actually. Everything looks good. Control your breathing a little bit more. You're looking good. Dictate the outside angle a little bit more. Throw the jab, switch step hit. He's looking for a big overhand. Nothing a big deal at all. Beautiful job, Nick.
Round 2, you ready? Round 2, you ready? Let's go, fight.
Round 2 underway here at Foxwoods Resort Casino. Todd Harris, Chael Sonnen. Good fight underway here in the second round of this lightweight bout between Nick Newell in the black and yellow trunks taking on Tom Marcellino. And we listen in during the break in Nick Newell's corner.
Don't get drawn in, Tommy. Where's your movement? You look great on the takedown. When you go for it, sometimes just step back and throw the hands off the takedown, okay? You're looking great out there. So the jab, switch the elbow to the outside.
Was off. My ground and pound was a little off.
No, it's fine. You're looking wonderful, actually. Everything looks good. Control your breathing a little bit more. You're looking good.
So the only thing that Nick Newell could say about his performance in round 1 is ground and pound was a little off. And once again, Marcellino goes for that guillotine. Does not look to be in deep enough as Newell looks to defend it.
It's really interesting, Todd. Marcellino keeps on getting his arms in the right spot, but then his legs are in the wrong spot. Generally, the arms are the hard part. The legs come easy. He's getting just the opposite effect here. But in the process to looking for this submission hold, he's giving up position. And when the judges are scoring a fight on the 10-9 must system, you must pay attention to position.
Looking back on round number 1, who do you give that one to, Chael?
I really thought that Nick Newell had it. There wasn't a whole lot of action even when Newell was on top. It was a fair assessment he gave himself. His ground and pound was off, but I still believe he did enough to win that round. Even right now, which is largely deja vu of what we saw before, Newell's on top, but he's not doing anything with it. Marcellino needs to give up on this guillotine and just scramble his hips out and look to improve his position. At the end of the day, Todd, he is in a fist fight, and he is yet to throw a punch.
Partisan crowd here at the Grand Theater, Foxwoods Resort Casino in Mashantucket, Connecticut. Nick Newell, the local boy from Milford, trying to pick up his 13th professional victory. Just one defeat coming on the hands of the champion, Justin Gaethje. And no shame in that one. That kid is legit.
I talked to two-time NCAA champion Nick Gizwowski yesterday, and he told me, he said, listen, Tom Marcellino can wrestle, but even better than that, he can box. So far in this fight, we just haven't seen Marcellino on his feet long enough to really get that going.
Marcellino trying to fend off that left arm of Nick Newell. If you're just joining us, Newell, a young man that was born with congenital amputation, that one arm not fully developed past his elbow, and he has not let that stop him. 300 wins in high school and college wrestling, and 12 professional victories here. The World Series of Fighting. He's looking for number 13 right here, and I guarantee Newell is trying to figure out this Rubik's Cube that is Tom Marcellino and find a way to get another submission.
Todd, I'm kind of blown away with the strength of Nick Newell, and I'm wondering if that is a little bit due to the disability, that he had to favor the one arm more and get it twice as strong. But that's what it looks like. Even when they were on his feet and he was throwing those hooks, they were so powerful. And right here, I mean, in Nick Newell's, the pound part of this ground and pound, he is missing a little bit. He even said that himself, but the ground and able to keep his opponent, Marcellino here, he's really quite remarkable. Here he's got both legs trapped. He's stretching his opponent out. I mean, Marcellino, until he can get control of his legs, he has no chance of standing up or finding a submission.
Right. But is it a stalemate? Because right now he's got that guillotine locked in on the head of Nick Newell, and Newell's not really scoring any points either.
I think largely that's correct, yeah. And again, I keep talking about it, but whoever's head is higher is winning. And right now, Newell's head is down, which is why you're not seeing him land any blows. You can't land a blow unless your head's higher than your opponent's.
Under a minute to go here, round number 2. This one's scheduled for 3 in the lightweight division. World Series of Fighting 24 from Mashantucket, Connecticut. Nick Newell there in the black and yellow trunks, taking on Tom Marcellino.
Are you listening to what I'm saying about this head higher thing? I mean, this is an outstanding analysis I'm giving right now.
From what I gathered from Professor Sonnen, whoever's head is higher is winning.
I'm telling you, that is a high-level analysis that people at home probably hadn't considered before. But if you look at the position, Nick Newell cannot hit it right now. He can't do it. And even if he does make a fist to bring it to him, Todd, you can't generate any power from that spot.
And the patience of Big Dan Mergliata goes only so far. He wants to see the action pushed, and so he stands both fighters up. Wise call.
No.
Wait a second.
10 seconds.
No, make a call here.
There were 10 seconds to go, and the bell rang.
Okay, there's still time to go, Todd.
They're going to end this round, and we will see what happens when we come back live here on Stan's Beef and
stopped officially.
That's okay.
So if you get another takedown, okay, what I want you to do is take your hand, go over his head and put him in the crossbody, okay? And a back leg push kick, okay? Yeah. You're doing a great job. You're looking good. A little more control. Don't rush anything this time. Circle to the outside still, okay? Circle to the outside. Throw the jab. You're doing a great job. I want the switch step elbow, but I want you to cut across that way.
It's close. We got to finish strong in this round, Tommy. You got to believe in yourself.
Renzo Gracie, Henzinho in the audience, making the drive up from New Jersey to watch the fights here in Mashantucket. Todd Harris, Chael Sonnen. This is the 3rd and final round at the conclusion of what was an odd situation. Usually there is a clap noise or a hitting of the table with 10 seconds to go, and inadvertently the bell was hit with 10 seconds to go. So Chael Sonnen did the math correctly, cracked out his abacus. That round was only 4 minutes and 50 seconds.
Newell lunging forward here. Marcellino really needs to let those hands go.
Yep. And Nick Newell right now seemed a little bit out of rhythm, not the same pace that we normally see from him.
Oh, what's happening here? Marcellino's taking his back. I would encourage Marcellino to let those hands go, get some ground and pound, try to rack a few points up. But this is a bit of a surprise that he ended up in this position.
There we go, yeah. Open him up, soften him up, Tommy. Soften him up. Keep going.
You're fine.
Knee the ribs, to the ribs, to the ribs. Ribs.
Marcellino holding this position, but he's going to have to advance it. This is a really great opportunity, whether it's knees, whether it's fists, whether it's a possible elbow to try to score a few points here. He's going to lose the position. That's very clear. He's going to lose this position sooner or later. I would encourage him to try to score a few points before that happens. There's a good knee. That got through a little bit.
I don't know if it was you or our good friend Kenny Florian that said, you know, nothing good really happens when you let it go to the judges. And this is one of those fights where you could make a case for either guy in round number 1. 2 and 3 have turned into somewhat of stalemates, and someone's going to be disappointed at the end of this third and final round.
Hey, they don't go K-Flow a genius for nothing, Tom.
It's not just about the hair.
That's right. They're not just handing those titles out.
Coming up on 2.5 minutes to go, one of these fighters needs to get busy in a hurry as Dan Marcellino looks on. His patience has shown that he does not like slow and steady. Tom continues Marcellino with the hammer fist and the elbows. And Nick Newell just seems to be looking or waiting for him to do something that he can counter.
Tom just spent 2 minutes and 40 seconds in a very good position, of which he chose not to strike from. He's now in a terrible position, and he's doing nothing but striking. I'm very confused as to the game plan of either of these guys. And frankly, we've spent a lot of time in this position, and this is a weird position. I don't know how the judges are going to score this. On one hand, Newell is on top. On the other hand, he's not only not doing any damage from here, he can't do anything. He's caught in a guillotine.
Now the head is down low, and as Chael Sonnen has pointed out on multiple occasions, whoever's head is higher is winning the fight.
Marcellino's got his hands locked and his legs now.
That is it. That is, oh, is he tapping?
Well, I think he was signifying he's okay, but he's lying. He's not okay.
He's pushing off it. He was doing a tapping motion. Thank you for not stopping the fight, Dan Marcellino.
Great job by our referee, Dan Marcellino.
Didn't it look like he was doing a tapping motion?
At
and you know what I'm talking about.
At 2 different times, it looked as though he was signaling for the referee. And great job by Nick Newell, because that was tight.
So Nick Newell is down to about 70 seconds. Tom Marcellino is looking up at the big screen here in the Grand Theater and just watching the fight.
Back off,
sitting on the ground, trying to put a guillotine on Nick Newell, and watching TV is not the winning way. They put him back to their feet for the final 54 seconds. Nick Newell's got to go. He has got to go, Chael.
Yeah, this is a very interesting one. Todd, I mean, this really is a problem for the referees. Now, in situations like this, where Marcellino gets into a dominant position, but then he's not doing enough with it, this is the time when he should be striking. He chooses to strike from bad positions and let these good ones go, and I'm a little confused by it. And should this go to a decision, he may not like what the referees have to say.
Marcellino working the elbows. Now he postures up. Now the hammer fists begin to rain down.
Yeah, they are. Good shot to the body.
Beautiful up kick, and Marcellino says, bring some more. Final 10 seconds.
I don't know. I don't know. I actually am kind of leaning towards the judges favoring Newell because of position, but this was a really weird contest for me.
Strange indeed. Who will walk away the winner, and what will the judges do?
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of fighting, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judges David Ginsburg, Eric Colon, and Suzanne Sinadad all score this fight 29-28. For your winner, Notorious Nick Newell!